Bird here. I'm inside my house, or what was my house. Um, Happy to be doing another entry today. I'm here because uh, my house earlier in the year flooded, and so it's been in this kind of state for a few months now. And today I thought that I would kind of share something about me that helps me move through the difficult moments. And that's what I think is my mission, my reason for being. Um, and I thought it'd be fun to put that inside of mine and see what I can learn from it. This is something that I wrote maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. I had quit my job. I think I was asking a lot of questions around my potential, around what my duty was here on earth, like what my meaning was here on earth, why I did the things that I do. And I can't really explain how it all came together, but I remember writing this text and just finding an immense amount of resolve for myself when I wrote it. And from that moment on, I would share it with people I met along the way, with the team members, and it appeared to be something that moved people and that helped them understand, why I'm here. Why is it that I do what I do? And so I thought it'd be fun to share that with you all, and see what I can learn from it, even 3 years later. I think part of what fuels our desire and our intention behind building Mind is how do we create tools that help people define and reach their life's vision? How do we help people cull out all the insights that they can from their lived experiences? How do we make that simpler so that at some point, because you will have done the work, you may arrive at some form of direction, some form of, and this is why I do what I do. And that, if I have a dream, that would be a major dream, which is to create easier pathways, graceful pathways for us to connect to that work, and for it to be exciting, for it to be graceful, and for it to be something that, should you desire to want to figure that out, there's just beautiful tools to do that. And I think we shouldn't be scared of that work. And so I'll just share the mission. It's right here. I wrote this 3 years ago, so this has been transcribed from my moleskins, and we'll pop it in here. So I'll actually read this one because it means a lot to me, and I would love to share that with you all. So my name is Bertrand. You'll often hear me say that my name is Bert, but my full name is Bertrand. And I was born in France. I was fortunate to grow up in many places around the world before arriving here in Seattle 10 years ago. On my journey, I have discovered a beautiful world full of many people, languages, and cultures, also unique from one another and yet also familiar. My personal experience of having to adapt to so many new places in life has taught me that although we may all live different stories, we are all connected by one common and inseparable bond, the human spirit that lives within all of us. I believe that the human spirit knows no origin, no bounds, no time, no single body or language. The human spirit is universal and found shimmering deep within us all. My mission is to remind people of their human spirit so that they may live with intention and, most importantly, an unrelenting belief in themselves and us as one human people. So this is a passage or a text, again, that moves me a lot. It does not have to mean very much to you. It is simply something that I can come back to and really feel inspired by. It really informs and inspires the things that I do with my work. and with everything in my life. How I like to engage with people, how I like to go into my art, the things that I create, the ideas that I have, I think all revolve around this idea of empowering that energy force inside of us, that piece that really makes us feel alive. And so, yeah, let's dig in. Bertrand is on a journey of self-discovery, having lived in many different places in his life. He believes that the human spirit is universal and found deep within us, and his mission is to help people realize and believe in this. We've got some positive, emotions associated to this around curiosity, gratitude, adaptability, optimism, and connection. And I think when I read this passage, for example, when difficult things are going on or I'm having moments of self-doubt, it certainly pretty quickly re-inspires me to keep going, to just dig deeper into that side of myself and accept that things are going to be okay, and that there's a version of this mission that I can achieve in different ways, and that it exists, and that I'll find the right thing. I'll find the right moment. Journey, human spirit, believe, connect. Again, I think you'll see these keywords become more powerful over time, because over time we can start seeing the trend lines, and we can start to maybe show you some of the keywords that come up, over and over again. Again, helping you potentially identify some patterns that help you along the way. Some of the questions today: what have been some of the most meaningful moments in your journey so far? That's just too difficult. But the one that comes to mind right here, right now, is I think I spent 2.5 2 years thinking about whether or not I should try to start my own business. And a meaningful moment was when I realized that I had to give myself permission to try. It was on me to choose whether it would work or not. We don't know. We still don't know. But it was on me to choose to take that step. And I think that's probably one of the most meaningful moments that I've experienced, which is to not feel entrapped by whatever environment you're in, even though you have this desire to try something else or become something that you're not quite sure yet what it is. And I think that's probably one of the most meaningful moments that I've had in my life. And it's in an instant, right? Because that decision happens in a moment, and it's a second. But the way it then affects your trajectory or your history is outsized, and that's why it's meaningful to me. Again, could be completely irrelevant to you, but there's a version of that in all of us, I think. What do you think has been the most important lesson your travels have taught you? I've had the privilege and opportunity to live in a couple different places, Canada, the US, France, different places in the US, in Texas, Boston, Seattle, Ohio. And I think we forget how big the world is sometimes. There's a lot of people out there, and we're not alone. We can get caught up in our ways sometimes, and I think an important lesson to remember is that everybody's trying to figure it out there, right? And everybody's going to find something that works for them, but that's not always going to work for the person next to you. And so cultivating and practicing an ability to honor and maintain your points of views while also accepting that the person next to you will have a different one, just because by sheer virtue of having access to different information, they will arrive at different ideas, different conclusions, different points of views. I think it's a critical thing to remember, and we do live in a world where I think we can forget about that sometimes. And when you move somewhere new and you don't have, the ties or the cultural capacities that you had where you were coming from, and none of those things exist, you quickly have to understand what environment you're now, arriving in. You quickly have to be humbled and, not impose some of the things that you thought were real and that you had to bring in, but at the same time honor that that's part of your identity and part of who you are. So yeah, just keeping an open mind, I think, is probably the way I would summarize that. What do you think is the most important thing we can do to help remind people of their human spirit? Um, I think when I was going through my moment or period of not really understanding why I was doing what I was doing, the general feeling that I sensed was, I can't describe to you why things feel wrong, but they don't feel right. And if I could wish something for everyone, is that if something doesn't feel right, is that it's okay. And convincing ourselves that everything is right is probably the thing I would wish on no one, because it creates this like illusion of an environment that you're not emotionally resolved with. Something is wrong, something is off, right? You're not in the right job, you're not in the right city, you're not, engaging with the personas or the characters that you want to engage with in life. Maybe you're in a job that requires you to do things that don't bring you inspiration, motivation. And I think the way that we reconnect to the human spirit is to accept that. I think there's many moments in life that might bring that upon us, right? We choose a path, it leads us down this road, things happen, and at some point we realize, oh, maybe I don't like that. Okay, switch again. And just being able to reconnect to that truth inside of us is something that can help us reconnect to our spirit, which is, my spirit is down. My spirit is affected by the environment and conditions that I'm in. How might I affect those conditions? How might I change those conditions to refuel that natural energy that we all have? Again, it's a bit woo-woo, but it doesn't matter. It's just the way that I perceive it. I'm just sharing here, how these reflections kind of help me determine a point of view and determine, what's important to me. And so I hope these are helpful. Again, the team is doing more of these. We really can't wait to explore some of the new features that we're building into our beta. And again, through doing these videos, we're learning ourselves, right? Based on describing these to you, what we like and what we don't like. I think you're hearing us say that keywords might have a bit more value, over time. The questions are incredibly valuable. I think one thing that excites me personally is like being able to direct the vector or the direction of these questions, right? Is there a topic within my entry that I'd like to explore a little bit more? So this is really fascinating to us as well, and we really appreciate your time. If you're watching these, please let us know if there's something you want us to explore. If there's questions that you have, we're also here trying to figure it out. So we'll talk to you soon, and I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow. All right, bye.